Okay, we're rolling. So I just want to say thank you guys for your patience for this video today, and you are kicking butt. I am so proud of you. I'm blown away by you, actually. And I'm really excited to bring you today's video because if you've been in one of my groups before, you know what I'm about to talk about. This is foundational this is the most foundational understanding that I could possibly ever teach you so that you can not only get great results for the rest of our time together, but so that you can carry those results on infinitely into the rest of your life. Because what are results, right? Results aren't something that you get and then like run with it. No, results are lifestyle. That's all it is. Results are the culmination of all the choices that you're making every single day. So I know that you already know that, blah, blah, blah. I just like to say that. Basically, what I'm going to talk to you about is whole foods, the importance of whole foods, what is whole foods. I'm going to really break down more of the meal plan for you, why there are whole fat dairy products recommended, why I recommend that you cook your food in bacon grease. I really didn't want to overload you with all of this, you know, on day one, but I do like to talk about it because a lot of people are just like, oh, wow, is Ashley trying to make me gain weight? You know, you're certainly not here to gain weight, and some of you I know are trying to lose weight, so I want to address that in a little bit more detail. And I've got notes so that I don't get off track. So, you know, let's just start with talking about the obesity epidemic that we have in America today. I don't like to say that we have an obesity epidemic. We have an epidemic of people eating processed junk food. That's all it is. We have a lot of fit, sick people. We have a lot of skinny, sick people. And we have also, of course, a lot of overweight people. But it's an epidemic of what we're eating, not because obesity is not the only problem. And it's really narrow-sighted to just look at that. You know, these packaged foods that people are eating, I would say about 90% of what is consumed on a daily basis by about 80 to 90% of the population is packaged goods. Our body, though, was never meant to get its nutrition from packaged goods. So you'll see that these foods like cereals, breads, whatever, they're fortified with vitamins and minerals. But your body, like I said, is not meant to get its nutrition that way. Oftentimes, the vitamins, most of the time, the vitamins that are inserted or, you know, fortified into these foods, they're not compatible with your body because they're synthetic vitamins. Your body can't process synthetic vitamins, and oftentimes synthetic vitamins actually lead to real big problems in the human body. An interesting little factoid is that vitamins were discovered in, I want to say 1931. Since the discovery of vitamins, cancer skyrocketed, and it has continued to increase at a dramatic rate every year since then. Vitamins are not the only culprit, but what happened is they started to make replicas of real vitamins, right, in the form of synthetic vitamins, which are toxic to the human body. They often cause problems with your internal organs. But also people started to rely on those synthetic vitamins for their nutritional intake. And so it's a combination of those two things, not eating real foods and the synthetic overload, that really started to create a problem with people. But I'm going on a total tangent because I know you're not here to learn about cancer. That was just an interesting fact, and it just really speaks to the fact that, like, eating fortified foods, taking synthetic vitamins is not the answer. So it's all about whole foods. Basically, you know, every real vitamin comes from the earth. So vitamin A is in meats and certain plant foods in the form of beta carotene. You know, you can get your vitamin D from fish oils. You can get your, of course, and the sun, right? So vitamin K from leafy greens, like all of these things are so important for us to have a balance. And I'm going to try not to make this video too long, a balance of all of these things. And that is the best way to beautify. It's the best way to avoid craving. Sorry, my head is like on my kids today, so it's hard for me to make this video, but it's also too much for me to write. So bear with me. It's the best way for you to avoid cravings, really, is by eating whole foods. So this is another really interesting topic, and it's kind of like too much for people to grasp all at once sometimes because this is not talked about. But your body is the ultimate computer, and you're like probably laughing already if you've been in one of my groups before, because I talk about this so much. I got this actually from Joyce Turkington, about the body being the ultimate computer. And I learned the part about whole foods and cravings in IAN. So it's not like I just made this up. I mean, this is like, it's not talked about, but this is concrete. Like, this is the way it is. Whole foods is the best way. Eating whole foods is the best way to avoid cravings. Why? Because your body's the ultimate computer. It recognizes when you put something in it that is foreign, that was not meant to be digested by your body, right? Your body is of the earth. It needs to consume what is from the earth in order to stay healthy and thrive. And it doesn't, it wasn't designed to process processed food, and so it can't. And when something foreign comes into it, it says, oh my gosh, let's take corn syrup. This is the best example I can give you. Put corn syrup in your body, and your body goes, where's the other piece to this? Like, I need the other piece to be able to process it as a whole component. Does that make sense? And so you have cravings, and you will crave whatever, your body's telling you to eat the rest of it, but what happens? You crave white foods, you crave refined foods. That is what you go towards first, because you're just going for calories, right? So avoid cravings. It's the best way to beautify. It's just the best way to meet your holistic needs, whole foods. And you'll notice that I ask you to buy whole fat dairy products. This is really important because a lot of people think that low fat dairy is a whole food. It's not, because what happens is something has to replace the fat, right? So they strip the fat out, which your body will recognize, of course, and they replace it with sugars and chemical ingredients. So that's why they call it a chemical bleep storm. Okay, in the health food, health coaching, like nutritional world, that's what it's called. Low fat products or nutritional bleep storms. So, anyways, and let's dive into the fat part of this. We're reaching 7 minutes and 30 seconds, but let's really quick wrap up by diving into the fat portion of the meal plan that I gave you, and just fat in general. Okay, let's start off by looking at the population. The general population is pretty overweight, and it's a big testament to the fact that low-fat diets do not work. And the biggest thing is that people are buying low-fat products. So let's clarify what I'm talking about. If you were to eat a low-fat diet that was a natural human diet, say you were just going to eat like vegetables and fruits and potatoes and a little bit of low-fat meat here and there, I would be like, fine, that's a natural low-fat diet. But the low-fat diets that become problematic are the low-fat product diets. So to clarify, I mean, when you're purchasing low-fat dairy, low-fat bars, low-fat this, low-fat that, those foods are so toxic to your body, and you will experience so many cravings. You will battle with your weight. I can just promise you, you will also have, hormonal imbalances, which just exacerbate the problem. So I can guarantee you that if you go on low-fat products, you are going to have struggles, and we want to just avoid that. So if you're going to have cheese, have some whole-fat cheese. If you're going to have milk, have some whole-fat milk. And it goes from there. So basically, to wrap this up, like, a whole food is whatever it is, like totally unadulterated in nature. That doesn't mean that we can't blend it down. That doesn't mean we can't grind it down. It doesn't mean a whole food can't come in a powder form, right? It's just that it can't be separated from a part of itself, okay? So juice, like raw juice, that's really the only kind of food that I'll ever recommend that is not whole, and we can talk about that too. But I think I'm really kind of just blabbing now. So I'm going to let you go. I know this is a really long video. I will not put a long video on like this on you again. I will have a very short video for you tomorrow when we're going to talk a little bit more about cravings. But please let me know if you have any questions. All right. Bye-bye.